You wake up, make your coffee, look out the window, and everything looks the same as yesterday. The colors of the trees, the light coming through the curtain, the familiar blur if you don't have your glasses on. It's easy to think, my eyes are still working fine, I'm doing okay. But what if I told you that the real danger to your eyesight doesn't come with a warning? No pain, no flashing lights, no sudden loss, just a slow, silent decline that you won't even notice until it's too late. After the age of 60, your eyes become more fragile. Tear production slows, the retina thins, blood flow to the eye decreases, your ability to filter out harmful light weakens. But here's the real problem. Most people keep doing the same things they did when they were 40 or 30, not realizing that certain daily habits, once harmless, now chip away at their vision little by little. It's like a slow leak in a tire. You don't feel it at first, but one day you're stranded. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 everyday habits that may seem innocent, even healthy, but that can secretly accelerate vision loss after age 60. Some of them are so common, you might be doing them right now without realizing the risk. And we're saving the most dangerous one for last, the one that steals eyesight in silence, and yet most people ignore year after year. Let's begin with something that might seem like no big deal, a habit so simple you've probably already done it today. Think about the last time your eyes felt itchy or dry. Maybe it was after a long nap or a few minutes staring at your phone. What did you do? Chances are you rubbed them, maybe gently at first, but then a little more firmly. It feels relieving, almost soothing, like you're massaging away the irritation. But for people over 60, this innocent habit could be doing far more harm than good. You see, as we age, the skin and tissue around our eyes change drastically. The collagen that once kept everything firm and elastic starts to break down. The blood vessels near the eyes become more delicate, and the protective layers of the eye, especially the cornea, become thinner and less resilient. Now, imagine applying pressure to that fragile structure day after day. Every time you rub your eyes, you're not just pressing on the surface, you're stretching and distorting the entire eyeball. And over time, this can trigger something called keratoconus, a condition where the cornea becomes cone-shaped instead of round. It causes blurry vision, glare, sensitivity to light, and in some cases, permanent visual distortion that even glasses can't correct. But that's not the only risk. Frequent eye rubbing can also increase your chances of retinal detachment, especially in older adults. The retina is the light-sensitive layer at the back of your eye, and if it starts to peel away due to repeated trauma or internal pressure, it's a medical emergency. Left untreated, it can result in total vision loss. And here's the part most people don't know. Rubbing your eyes can also worsen eye infections. Your hands carry bacteria, oils, allergens, and viruses. Even if you wash them regularly, all it takes is one unwashed fingertip and a quick rub to introduce microbes directly into your eye. So, what should you do instead? If your eyes are itchy, reach for preservative-free artificial tears. If they feel tired, use a cold compress or gently press a cool, damp washcloth over your closed lids. And if rubbing has become a habit, try training yourself out of it. Set a reminder, notice when you're doing it. Break the cycle. Because what feels like relief in the moment might be the start of long-term damage. And if rubbing your eyes is this risky, just wait until you hear what's hiding behind those harmless little eye drops in your bathroom cabinet. You walk into any pharmacy, and there they are, rows and rows of eye drops. Redness relief, moisturizing, anti-itch. Soothing formula, wider, brighter eyes. They all promise quick relief. And for many people over 60, that little bottle becomes a daily ritual. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not all eye drops are safe to use every day. And if you're using them regularly without your doctor's guidance, you might be making things worse, not better. Let's start with the most popular type, redness relief eye drops. These work by shrinking the blood vessels on the surface of your eyes, making them appear wider almost instantly. But that effect is temporary. Once the drop wears off, those blood vessels dilate again, often even more than before. It's called rebound redness, and it's a vicious cycle. You use the drops. Your eyes get wider, but soon they get red again, so you use more drops, and the cycle continues. For seniors, this is especially risky. As we age, our eyes naturally produce fewer tears. Our eyelid glands, responsible for maintaining the oily layer of our tears, slow down or become blocked. Using vasoconstrictive drops on top of that can worsen chronic dry eye syndrome, which leads to burning, stinging, blurry vision, and even damage to the corneal surface over time. But there's more. Some over the counter drops contain preservatives like benzalkonium chloride, which may be fine in small doses. But with repeated use, they can become toxic to the very cells that protect your eyes. In fact, studies show that long term use of these preservatives can increase inflammation, cause irritation, and lead to delayed healing in the eyes. And perhaps the biggest danger, self diagnosing. That feeling of scratchiness might not just be dryness, it could be a symptom of something far more serious, like glaucoma, blepharitis, or even early macular degeneration. Masking those symptoms with eye drops only delays diagnosis and treatment. So, what's the safer option? If you find yourself using eye drops every day or even several times a week, stop and ask, why? Is it dryness, allergies, redness? Before you reach for that bottle again, schedule a visit with an optometrist or ophthalmologist. They can assess whether your eye issue is temporary or a sign of something more serious. And if your doctor does recommend drops, ask for preservative-free options or lubricating tears designed for long-term use. These are gentler, safer, and often more effective in treating the root cause, not just the symptoms. Because when it comes to your eyes, guessing is never a good idea. Now let's move on to something even more deceptive, a habit most people dismiss as not a big deal, especially on cloudy days. But the damage it causes, that can last a lifetime. Picture this. It's a gray afternoon, no sun in sight. You're just running a few errands or taking a short walk around the neighborhood. No need for sunglasses, right? That's what most people think. But here's the problem. Ultraviolet UV rays don't disappear just because the sun is hiding. In fact, over 90% of UV rays still penetrate through clouds. And for eyes that are over 60 years old, that exposure can be more dangerous than you might imagine. As we age, the lens inside our eye becomes more rigid, more yellowed, and less efficient at filtering out harmful light. Combine that with a lifetime of accumulated UV damage, and the risks start stacking up. Let's talk about cataracts, one of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. UV light accelerates the breakdown of proteins in the eye's lens, leading to that familiar cloudy or foggy vision. But it doesn't stop there. Extended UV exposure has also been linked to age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, a slow, irreversible deterioration of the central part of your vision. Once it starts, there's no cure, only management. And guess what accelerates it? Years of unprotected exposure to both UVA and UVB rays. There's also a condition called photokeratitis, which is essentially a sunburn of the cornea. It can cause severe pain, blurred vision, and extreme light sensitivity. This can happen even on overcast days, especially if you're near reflective surfaces like water, pavement, or snow. And here's the kicker, sunglasses aren't just for summer. UV rays bounce off sidewalks, cars, and windows year-round. The damage is cumulative. It's not about one sunny day. It's about decades of tiny unnoticed hits to your vision. So what should you do? Simple. Wear wraparound sunglasses that block 100% of UVA and UVB rays, even when it's cloudy. If you wear prescription glasses, ask your optometrist about photochromic lenses. These adjust to light conditions automatically. Or get a pair of polarized sunglasses that reduce glare and improve contrast. Your eyes have no natural defense against UV. They're vulnerable every time you step outside. Protecting them isn't vanity, it's vision insurance. And the next threat, it's probably sitting right next to your pillow. and it might be the reason your eyes feel worse when you wake up. There's a quiet comfort in it. Lying in bed, lights off, phone in hand, catching up on the news, reading a book, watching a quick video to wind down the day. But this habit, so common and so innocent seeming, may be silently damaging your vision more than you realize. When you read on a screen in the dark, your pupils dilate to take in more light. But what's pouring in isn't natural light, it's blue light, which comes in a much higher intensity from digital screens than from sunlight. And here's why that matters. Blue light penetrates deep into the eye, reaching all the way to the retina, where it causes oxidative stress and cellular damage. For younger people, the eye has a stronger natural defense against this kind of stress. But after 60, the macula, the center of the retina responsible for sharp central vision, begins to thin and weaken. Overexposure to blue light at this stage doesn't just cause eye strain, it may increase the risk of macular degeneration, a condition that steals your ability to read, recognize faces, or drive safely. And it's not just about the damage. Reading on screens in the dark also disrupts your sleep cycle. Blue light tells your brain it's daytime, suppressing melatonin and making it harder to fall into a deep, restful sleep. And poor sleep, that makes dry eye, blurry vision, and headaches even worse the next day. So, what can you do? First, turn on a bedside lamp when using a screen. Even a small one helps reduce contrast strain. Second, use the night mode or blue light filter built into most devices. And third, try to limit screen time in the hour before bed altogether. Instead, pick up a paperback, listen to music, or just let your eyes close and rest. Because in the dark, your screen isn't comforting your eyes, it's attacking them. And speaking of nighttime habits, the next one is often overlooked, but it might be the most easily avoidable of all. It's easy to forget, you're tired, it's late, you just want to crawl into bed. Removing eye makeup or washing your eyelids can feel like one more chore at the end of a long day. But for seniors, this small habit, or rather, skipping it, can have serious consequences for eye health. Let's talk about something called meibomian glands. These are tiny oil glands located along the edges of your eyelids. They produce the oily layer of your tear film, which keeps your eyes moist and protected. As we age, these glands naturally become less active, and for many, they begin to clog or shrink altogether, a condition known as meibomian gland dysfunction, MGD. Now, here's where poor hygiene makes things worse. When you leave makeup on overnight, especially eyeliner or mascara, you're allowing debris, oils, and bacteria to build up along the lid margin. This clogs the glands even further, leading to chronic dry eye inflammation and even blepharitis, a painful infection that causes redness, crusting, and swelling. Even if you don't wear makeup, not cleaning your eyelids allows dust, oils, and environmental pollutants to accumulate, all of which increase the risk of irritation and bacterial overgrowth. Some seniors even develop styes or chalazions, small painful bumps on the eyelid caused by blocked oil glands. These can become chronic, requiring warm compresses or even minor surgery, but the solution is simple. Make eyelid hygiene part of your daily routine. Use a gentle cleanser, warm water, or a lid scrub pad to clean the lash line every evening. Remove all makeup thoroughly. And if your eyes feel gritty or irritated when you wake up, that's a sign your eyelids need more care. This one habit, just 60 seconds a day, can drastically reduce your risk of dry eye and infection. But even if you follow all of these habits perfectly, there's still one silent danger that can undo everything. It's the most dangerous habit of all because it involves doing nothing. You feel fine, you can still read, you haven't noticed anything unusual. So, why go to the eye doctor? It's a common mindset, especially among seniors, but it's also one of the most dangerous because here's the reality: the worst eye diseases often show no symptoms until it's too late. Let's take glaucoma as an example. It's called the silent thief of sight for a reason. It causes slow damage to your optic nerve, gradually narrowing your field of vision, but because it starts with your peripheral vision, not the center, Most people don't notice until significant damage is done, and once that vision is lost, it's gone forever. Or diabetic retinopathy, which affects people with diabetes. Tiny blood vessels in the retina begin to leak or swell, but you may not feel a thing. Eventually, it can lead to blindness, unless caught early through an eye exam. Then there's macular degeneration, which slowly eats away at your central vision. The early signs are easy to miss: a little distortion, a bit of difficulty focusing. But without annual monitoring, it progresses silently. An annual dilated eye exam is your best defense. It allows your doctor to look deep into the eye, beyond what you can see in a mirror, and spot early warning signs of serious disease. These exams are especially important after 60. The American Academy of Ophthalmology recommends a full eye exam every 1 to 2 years for all adults over 60, even if you have no symptoms. Because prevention isn't about fear, it's about freedom: freedom to keep driving, freedom to live independently, freedom to recognize the faces you love. Skipping your eye exam doesn't just risk your vision, it risks your quality of life. You've just learned 6 habits that millions of people do every day without realizing they could be silently damaging their eyesight. But here's the truth: the most dangerous part isn't the habit itself, it's ignoring it. It's thinking, I'm fine, this doesn't apply to me. That's how vision loss begins, not with a dramatic event, but with quiet neglect. But it doesn't have to be that way. You don't need to make huge changes overnight. Just start small. Stop rubbing your eyes. Be mindful about the drops you use. Wear those sunglasses, yes, even on cloudy days. Turn on the light when reading. Wash your eyelids before bed. And above all, schedule that yearly eye exam. Your eyes have given you a lifetime of memories, of moments, of faces. It's time to give them something back. If this video helped you understand your vision better, please like it, subscribe to Senior Health Guide, and leave a comment below. Which one of these habits surprised you the most? Because the more we know, the longer we see. Thank you for watching, and take care of your eyes. They've taken care of you.